Let's pull these threads together with Marco Vicenzino, who's a global strategy advisor, joining us from New York. And Marco, it's interesting, this partnership announcement, isn't it, between Ukraine and Syria, because you have the new Syrian administration treading this fine line, as we're hearing from Hashim, our correspondent, trying to build ties with people at opposite ends of the spectrum. You've got Ukraine on one hand and Russia on the other, for example, both at each other's throats.
You know, basically, it's forming this strategic partnership between Ukraine and Syria has many elements to it. I mean, first and foremost, the HTS-led government in Damascus is taking a very pragmatic policy on the diplomatic front. It's willing to speak to all and to see who gives the best terms and conditions, where they get the best deals from. And I think what they're trying to do here is engaging the Ukrainians and the Russians simultaneously and seeing where they can get the best deal at and where they can extract concessions from, both simultaneously or maybe one to the exclusion of the others. It remains to be seen. Bottom line, between Ukraine and Syria, from a broader perspective, is the fact that Ukraine cut ties with Assad regime in 2022 when Assad provided diplomatic support after the full-scale invasion of Russia by Russia of Ukraine in February of 2022. Before December 7th, Ukrainian intelligence was also providing military aid to the HTS, about 150 drones and 20 operators. Broadly speaking, it's a limited military significance, but yet it was something. It was a form of support. So I think you want us to look, what is Syria looking to gain and what is Ukraine looking to gain? Syria is looking to gain, once again, it's that diplomatic support and economic support. It's looking for that diplomatic recognition from countries which helps in the process for the eventual lifting of sanctions against Syria. And then also it opens the opportunity. It needs economic aid. Ukraine can provide a lot of food supplies, particularly wheat. Currently, Zelensky announced that he's in the process of sending 20 shipments of wheat to Syria, which will be arriving in the future, not too distant future. But at the same time, Ukraine, look at its perspective. By engaging with the new government in Syria, it scores points diplomatically with the U.S., with Europe, and also with countries in the Middle East. And at the same time, it opens up new economic, it supplies wheat to different countries in the Middle East, but it opens new markets. And
talking of players in the Middle East, sorry to jump in, Marco, we just need to press on, but talking of international players in the Middle East, we've just heard news from our correspondent of the invitation from the Saudi Foreign Ministry for talks with the new Syrian administration. What of that?
Enormous diplomatic and political breakthrough for the HTS-led government in Damascus. What I mean by that is the fact that it's already just come, although whether or not diplomatic recognition is extended or not at this point, the main thing is you have de facto recognition, de facto diplomatic and political recognition. Just the invitation alone, that opens up the door. Once the Saudis open up the door, that provides the pretext for other countries in the region. So I think what happened, everyone was sending delegations to Damascus, fine, everyone has, but the issue is where they're getting the invitation from, and that breakthrough with Saudi Arabia unleashes the potential for more meetings and more invitations to continue and consolidate and solidify that diplomatic engagement, and once again, with the aims of being removed from the terrorism list, the international terrorism list, and the lifting of the sanctions against Syria, which will provide the new government, the new transitional government, with a lot of material and aid that it needs to begin a process of reconstruction, apart from the serious security issues that it's dealing with within the country.
All right, Marco, great to have your analysis. Appreciate that, Marco Vicenzino.
Thank you.
Joining us from New York. Thank you.